Calandria Baker.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Ms. Baker, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On September 2nd, 2024, law enforcement officers were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence. The complainant stated that he was in the bedroom asleep until he was awakened by his hair being pulled, stating that he felt pain. The complainant stated that the defendant was on top of him while he was in the bed. The complainant also stated that the defendant began striking, scratching, and pulling on his hair with her hands, causing pain. The law enforcement officer observed several red scratch marks on the complainant's chest, rib, and lower stomach area, along with redness and bruising on his left arm near the armpit area. The complainant and the defendant in this case are dating with 4 children.
She has a prior aggravated assault against the same person, I see. What happened in that case? Is she knife, gun?
Looks like a car and knife. The defendant attempted to run the complainant over, went inside the apartment, grabbed a knife, pointed at the complainant, slashed the knife across his left arm, sustained minor cuts.
Well,
Complainant sustained minor cuts.
Ms. Baker, I'm finding there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm now ordering you not to have any contact with this person whatsoever. Do you understand? I don't care that you have kids. You have a prior aggravated assault with this guy where you slashed him with a knife. No more contact with this person. Do you understand? I'm entering in what's called, well, let me see if there's a protective order already in place. There is. On the 3rd of this month, a protective order was issued in this case. I suggest you get to know it because if you violate this protective order, the state can and will file additional charges. And then I'm telling you now, with your prior aggravated assault, if I find that you try to have contact with this person, I'm going to make your bond so high, you're going to spontaneously combust. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Are you still living in the same place? Have you moved out?
We've been together 10 years. I have 4 kids. What she's reading is not what happened.
I know that there's 2 sides to the story, ma'am, but what scares me is that your trigger temper is what scares me. I get that there's another side to the story, and I get that you may have issues as well. And I don't know what happened to Garner, you know, what happened in this case, but what I'm trying to do is keep you guys separated so that it doesn't escalate to something more serious. I see that you do work. You have 4 kids. Do you have custody of the kids now? Who has possession of the kids?
We've been together 10 years. We stay together. We share a car together. I work 7 days. He works 6 days.
Yeah, I'm not giving you, no, you cannot have contact with this person. I'm trying to decide whether to give you a lawyer, ma'am. That's why I'm asking this, because I know that you have 4 kids and it's probably really tough and expensive as it is. Would you like to apply for an appointed lawyer, ma'am? Your other option is you can go hire one.
I don't have money for a lawyer.
Ma'am, I'm offering it to you now. I mean, I get it that, you know, I'm trying to alleviate the stress on you now because I know that with the stress of having this case, number one, the stress of having 4 kids and then having to go out and hire a lawyer when money's tight, it adds just unneeded stress, and I'm trying to help you out with that. Stephen, do you mind giving an application, please? I'm going to give you an application now. Or you know what? Actually, I already have it, so don't even worry about it. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. I'll get your bond conditions. I'm gonna ask you, ma'am, we need you to sign these bond conditions. After that, I'll find you a lawyer to speak to, okay? Please.
Right this way.
Yeah, no contact, no weapons for now.
Yes, sir.
Emmanuel?
'Cause I don't want you to get the brunt of the attack every time things get hot, anytime she gets upset, and it scares me. And initially, I didn't want to do, I wanted to do a no contact order, but at the end of the day, who suffers the most? Right. The kids are the ones that suffer because kids need their mom. These are things that you have to consider. The other thing that you have to consider is this, is that, you know what? The kids are like flowers, and they need love, they need nurturing, they need guidance. And if they see violence in a house, they're going to think it's okay. That child, instead of being a flower and growing the beautiful petals, it's going to grow sideways and backwards. Just kids emulate mothers and fathers. And if they see the fighting, if they see the knives, if they see they're going to do the exact same thing and they're going to think it's okay. That's why we have so much violence. So my question is this, is that what are we going to do next time you get upset? Because it's going to happen. You can't say you're not going to get upset. How do we handle it so that there's no more violence?
Pocket away, right?
And the thing, ma'am, Miss Baker, if you deny it, that's probably about the worst thing because you have to confront it. You have to do it head on because that's how it stops. And that's how you cure it. You confront it head on, you recognize it, and you say, look, kids suck. They're so freaking hard. They're expensive. They argue, they stink. Kids suck. And they're really difficult. But when you treat them right, they come back and they pay it forward to you tenfold because someone's got to take care of you when you're old. And if they hate you because you acted like an a-hole when they were kids, they're never going to be there for you. That's why you treat them with love and respect now for the future. Because I'll tell you what, when you have a kid and when they when they get to their teenage years and they see the way you've been, they're going to bring it back to you tenfold. And hell has no fury like an 18-year-old that's hell on wheels because they can make your life a living hell. And you think it's bad now? That you see the guy in Georgia, the guy that bought the kid the gun and shut up all those people in the school. What do you think they did? Now in today's society, they're not just going after kids. They're going after parents who are unable to recognize how dangerous their children are. The kid in the Santa Fe that gunned down all those people now over there, Dimitri Prigozis or something. All those families came back and sued the parents for letting him have access to a gun. So now what I'm trying to impart to you is that if you are unable to control yourself and your kids become like you and they go out there and create a public danger, all those people, they're not going to come after you. And you think it's expensive, you think it sucks now, wait till that happens. Are you okay with contact? How can we handle and what do we do if you guys start butting heads again? What are we supposed to do so that she doesn't pick up a new? I'm going to tell you, you pick up a new case. How do we handle it? It's not though. They're choices. A misunderstanding, a mistake is I left my umbrella at home, even though I knew it was going to rain. I left my glass case here at home and I didn't bring it home. That's a mistake. These are choices. They're not mistakes. They're not misunderstandings. They're choices. And they're bad choices because you're here when you don't want to be here. You're spending money that you already don't have. I'm okay with you having contact, Ms. Baker, with him. But before that happens, I need to know that we have a plan in place in the event that you get upset, so that either the kids don't get it, or importantly, he doesn't get it either. You need to come up with something for me, showing me how we're going to handle if times get stressful. And we have to figure something out. Just saying, I don't know what I'm gonna do, that's not, we need a game plan. You know, perhaps you start doing anger management classes at home on your own, so you can learn how to cope with the anger. That would be something. I don't know.
Exercise, very spiritual.
That's, exercise is great. I run my happy ass 4 miles every day because I have 4 kids too, and my kids are really difficult. And it would really be easy for me to beat them into submission, but for me to work my aggression out, I run every single No, and I get it, but here's what I would like. I think that we should do some kind of online anger management class 3 times a week. Okay?
Yes, sir.
And then as long as you can do that, then I'll allow you guys to have contact. No threatening, harassing, or abusive contact. You need to understand what is threatening or harassing. It's not what you think. I could care less what you think. It's how he perceives. So can conduct alone, if I go like this, is that threatening, harassing? It is, and it can violate this quarter. So, you okay with it? There is still a protective order in place, so she cannot threaten, harass, anything. If she does, she goes back into custody. All right, so we'll do 30 days,
Yes, sir.
and I want you to do anger management 3 times a week, online,
Is it a time for it?
No.
No, okay.
but just, I want a sheet of paper written down showing, date, time, where you did it, so that we can verify it. And I want a daily log of it 3 times a week that you've done anger management classes. And as long as you can do that, then we will allow contact. And then I'm gonna have Mr. D get it to me. And I'm telling you now, if you don't, because I'm making that a condition of your bond, I'm going to revoke your bond. Okay, all right, Mr. D.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Aaron, thanks, sorry to keep you waiting.
No worries.
Step all the way forward.
Good morning, Mr. D.
Good morning, Your
What
Honor.
do we got here?
Miss Calandria Baker, Your Honor.
Okay.
Solved of a family member case.
What are we doing?
We're doing a deferred adjudication probation, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Baker. Is this what you really want to do?
I wasn't really explaining anything about it. I don't even honestly know what I'm signing for. I just want to go home and go to sleep.
That's not true, Judge. I took Mrs. Baker in the room down in court number 8 and went over all the conditions of probation that was offered by the state. I went over, I had her, she said, I even given her a chance to talk to any family members. She called her
You want
brother
more time?
and stuff.
Please,
I asked her that and she said, no, Judge. I asked her, did she need more time? And she said, no.
Are you,
So,
let me ask you this. You're a security officer. Do you carry a weapon?
no, sir, but I was getting ready to get a license for that to transfer jobs.
Not gonna happen with this, you know? This, you might even lose primary custody with this. I mean, you need to really, your case is
I don't
it's-
decide it, then I don't
yeah,
know.
no, look, there's no rush. Your case is young, and no one's forcing you to do anything. You can have as much time as you need. If you need a month, 2 months, 3 months, I'm okay with it. You have time. You don't have to make any decisions now. I mean, this is not an arraignment setting, right?
no, sir.
And did we do the arraignment just a couple days?
Yesterday, Your Honor. We did.
Yeah.
It was yesterday.
So why are you back here now? Usually we give you time.
Because she had
I wanted
asked
to
me
go.
to talk to the court to see if the court would be amenable to or withdrawing the no contact with the complaining witness who she has a.
Now I have a problem with that. I mean, you have to understand, you have this new assault case, not A year ago, you had an aggravated assault where you slashed the hell out of him with a knife. I have a problem because this case is really fresh and it's open. And the last thing I want is you, under the stress of all this stuff, to get together with this person and then you make some kind of life-ending choice where you end up with a 50-year sentence. That's why we're doing this.
Explain something to you for a second.
I don't want to talk about the case. You can talk about about kids, yes, but I don't want to talk about the case.
I have 3 boys. I have a little girl. She's 3. As far as me and him with parents, and like I said, we've been together 10 years. We share a car. He goes to work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and I work overnight 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. So, and I work 7 days a week. He works 6. His only off day is Sunday, but
So if you guys work this much and you barely see each other that much, how is it that we have such problems then?
we were homeless last year.
And you work as much as you work and you tell me you're homeless.
Just, I guess, being overwhelmed, and we got into an argument, a disagreement. As far as the description of both arguments, the first case
I'm
got
not
the
gonna, I don't want to talk about the case. All I know is that you have that prior.
argument that went too far. In the prior case, that was, I take responsibility for that, but I had someone else involved in it because someone was in my house. So I overreacted to that.
What's the next overreaction gonna be? A gun?
No.
I know you say
A
no.
girl. I have a little girl. And even this, like being arrested in front of her,
Guilty to this thing. It's just gonna make everything go sideways.
well,
It's
I'm
not the right thing to do.
Everybody said not plead guilty, but I'm not for sure what I'm supposed to do after that.
At this time, all I want is you guys to just separate a while and not be with each other. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. And you guys together, you fight. And that's what we don't want.
I understand what you're saying as far as that, but as far as my life situation, that's impossible because, I mean, we're a team, like, and we just moved to this apartment. We just came out of a hotel room and I was in there for a year with my kids.
And, you know, before I allow you to have contact with this person, I want to talk to him first. Can you arrange, Mr. D, that we can have,
He's here, Judge.
oh, he's here now?
Yes, sir.
Great. Let's do this. Just take a seat for me for a second. I want to talk to him and then I'm gonna bring you back up. Let me thin the line because they've been waiting. Just hang tight for me, Ms. Baker. Just take a seat over there and then, because we have to do a deeper dive with you. John D. Hey.
Approaching on Mr. Guzman in custody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like Vic, Anna's on this case.
Yes, I sent her an email, just to give her a heads up that
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have you take a seat. You're not allowed to leave, ma'am. Do you understand? If you leave, I'm gonna put a warrant for your arrest and I'm gonna make your bond $20,000 to $25,000. I'm gonna have you sit. We're gonna wait for your lawyer to get here and we're gonna figure out what happens with your case today, ma'am. All right, please. Eric,
know if they just picked her up there.
if I drug test you now, what's gonna show up?
Nothing.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. Okay, do you have an offer in this case?
I do not.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. If you ever take off on me again, I'm gonna make your bond so high, you're gonna flip. I'm sending you now for a drug test and I'm also going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know where you are at all times. Do you understand? You have 2 weeks to figure out what we're going to do. This case is 300 days old. You must come back in 2 weeks and then we're gonna decide where we go from here. Do you understand? Okay, all right.
And just to make sure we're all on the same page, you're gonna send her for a drug test and then she'll come back here.
No, so send her for a drug test. Now, if something bad shows up, then I'll call you and we'll have her come back.
I also have a baby, so she's 2 months.
Have all these charges? What's gonna happen when CPS gets involved, Ms. Rollins?
I know she's 2 months. I've been trying to clear everything. I've been talking to my mom and everything. So I'm here right now. I'm trying.
Cases you pick up, the higher likelihood you have of CPS getting involved. And when they do, you think it's tough now. Just wait till CPS gets involved. It's a real heyday there. It's like a tornado, rip you right out of your life. Okay, can you waive the fees? And then she's got to get on today. Yeah, so we know where she is. No new cases, no weapons. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, Anna. All right.
Thank you. Can we get used?
Yes, ma'am. John D.
Case of Charles Hoop, Houpt.
Hoopty.
Hoop. Actually, it's Hope. I was trying to hoop-de-doo. But anyway, this judge is a case that he was arrested on San Jacinto River. And
Tubing?
oh, he was in a boat. The Coast Guard dropped down a two-way radio for him to talk to him. And he talked to him, and apparently the two-way radio came off the rope and he threw it in the back of the boat. Coast Guard left. He was charged with theft of the two-way radio.
What? You're kidding.
Judge, we're asking for no bond. Do you want to bring it out?
Please. So he's in a boat.
He's been here before on this case. And
On this
he
case.
waived extradition and he went back. And they gave him a PR bond and they gave him a court-appointed lawyer and told him to go away, and they let him know when he had to appear back in court. He was scheduled.
I find that
to-
very, how can that possibly be? I mean, they're going to give you some kind of paperwork that says when you have a future date.
Well, they didn't give him a court date for future date. They just told him his attorney would notify him, which he did. He was scheduled to appear in court on February 6th of this year, or February 7th, I'm sorry. And he failed to appear and they issued a warrant for him on February 16th. Now, I've spoken to his fiance here in Pasadena. She called the court-appointed lawyer over there, and she's called the judge's office over there, and they told him the only thing he needs to do is come over there and pay a $50 reinstatement fee, and they'll give him a new court date. Period. It sounds to me like the case would probably be something that will probably be dismissed.
I don't know about that. The only thing.
I don't know. I don't know. We're not litigating that here anyway. But he is a resident of Pasadena.
Fugitive case, man.
I know. He's a resident of Harris County, been in Pasadena, lives at his dad's house for the past 5 years. He's a welder, remodeler, worked for the same construction company for 5 years. And he refused extradition. He wants to, if the court will give him a PR bond so he can go back. I know why. That's what he asked. And so he can go back over there and pay that little $50 reinstatement fee. Right.
Now let's talk.
So he seems credible. I talked to him. Mr. Hope, this is Judge Fleischer.
Morning, Mr. Hope.
How you doing?
How's jail?
It's not good.
Good.
Not good at all.
This is your third time coming back here for a fugitive case, one reason or the other. Is it the same thing the third time going? I see your first fugitive case was in February of 23. And then later on in October 4th of 23, they filed another fugitive case against you. And now, August 24, another fugitive case.
It's all the same
Stop.
case.
What's that?
It's all the same case.
I don't understand.
I don't either, sir. I don't either at all, sir. To be honest with you. That's, you want to tell me?
I've already talked to the judge.
He's told me everything, but
Yeah, I
Does
don't
that-
understand either. Deuce DiMaggio, which was my lawyer down there.
it's
he
your
said,
responsibility to figure out, it's your responsibility to figure out what the hell is going on and where is it from, Amy?
St. Landry Parish,
St. Landry Parish, Judge.
Opelousas.
Great, at least he's close. That's great. You know, you're from Louisiana, which is
No, I don't-
fantastic
I
news.
work in Louisiana. I'm
He
from-
lives here in Pasadena, Judge.
I understand. What I'm trying to impart to you is that your fugitive case is in Louisiana. We have so many people here in Harris County from Louisiana that we have a bus coming here to pick up and take
Yes,
every week. So once you waive extradition, you'll be back in Louisiana within the next 2 to 3 days. Me, I don't give bonds after the first case, and this is your third. How can I possibly give you another bond when it continues to happen over and over and over?
Sir, this is, on my behalf, it's the same case, and the case that it is, did you tell him?
Yes, I told him about the two-way radio.
About this radio deal? The lawyers over there, the judge that I had retired, that we had gone through, I explained the case to him, and he thought it was out of whack as well. He wanted to know, they had a new deputy on board, as far as out of whack this thing is. So now that they got, I guess, a new judge over the case, because the one is retired, Judge Caswell. I wrote a letter, exactly what, step by step, what had happened and how it happened. I was a guide on the boat. I had 2 people on the boat with me. The Coast Guard flew over. This was back in 2018 when I got this Coast Guard radio. Okay. Now look, this is crazy. This is crazy. It really is, Your Honor. So the boat, this two-way radio, I put in the bottom of the boat. The Coast Guard flew off. He said, you must leave your vessel. I said, we're okay. We'll make it back. I have my trolling motor. We'll be okay. So I put it flies off and leaves the radio with me. So throughout all this time, I called the Coast Guard. They said, we know what had happened. We know that you didn't take the radio. I've done proven this point to them. So I wrote this in the letter. I had the statements with the 2 people that was my customers on the boat, the fishing trip. So as it flies off, I put the Coast Guard radio in the boat. Well, it ends up in the backpack that I have when going to work out that way. Just the Coast Guard. I had never had a charger for it. The frequency wouldn't work. The radio was incapacitable of even having frequency from here to there. But it's the deal with the Coast Guard, knowing that it was safer for them to do that than to lower personnel up or down.
Just pay restitution on the darn radio and be done with it.
Yeah, well, they haven't said that. That's what I'm saying. I've been trying to receive that, and I've been here 14 days, like you said, 3 different times, and they've come and got me, but I never could get in front of a judge. And then before I get in front of a judge down there, I don't even have to postpone. They just release me. They release me. So the lawyer that I have down there, he states, well, you don't have to be here unless we go to trial. I don't know when trial date is.
I don't know what to tell you, but they keep issuing warrants and we keep coming back for the same. I'm not giving you a bond.
I'm sorry about that. But that's the truth of what's happened.
I believe you.
And I don't know what to do at this point. I really don't know what to do from here to there.
What I would do is contact your lawyer down there. You know, the problem is that when you don't pay for something, when you get something for free, what kind of service you gonna get?
You're not, okay, I'm not, right.
I shouldn't say that really, but you know.
I understand what you're saying on the lawyer part,
Judge,
maybe.
they have contacted the lawyer over there. The lawyer told him that he'd take care of it once he got back over there in their jurisdiction. He can't do anything until he is back over there.
With
His fiance.
Same thing. I'm not giving him a bond.
Contacted the judge's office over there. Judge Garcia's secretary told him that the only thing he had to do is come back over there, pay a $50 reinstatement fee, and then
I don't have conflict. He'll go.
Oh, I believe me.
Why don't we do this?
It's not that I won't go. I've been there.
The state is asking for no bond as well, based on criminal history here in Harris County, Texas as well. In 2023, he did plead to a UUMB, and then he had some dismissed cases in 2023 and 2024.
Amy, I'm not, like, I don't care about that. What I care is that we're here for the 3rd time on the same thing.
I'm trying to
And
get
it's
it
over
resolved.
and over and over. So what I would suggest, I'm not giving you a bond. I'm not going to do it 3rd times over.
Okay.
So if you waive today, by Friday, you'll be in Louisiana. At the latest, on Monday, you'll be in Louisiana.
You say Friday I will be in Louisiana if you wait.
Tops, what, Monday?
They were here yesterday. They were here yesterday morning.
When are they coming back, Steve?
There's 3 different routes, so one will be on Wednesday. It depends on what route he's in. Wednesday and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Louisiana comes and picks up people.
Save your money
No.
from bonding out here, because if I were to set you a bond, it's going to be at least 5,000 to 10,000.
It's crazy.
Save your money, go back and finish this thing, or hire yourself a lawyer and finish this thing once and for all.
That's what this is all about. I
He's not
mean,
getting you a bond. So
No,
you need to waive
It's not
extradition.
3 times over. It's just, the problem is it's over. If I give you a bond, we're gonna see you here a 4th time. I'm not down with that.
and,
No, I can't do it.
because they keep releasing me and I don't know. So my question to you is, I guess I can talk to you about that.
Yeah, we'll waive it. You need to waive extradition.
So that means 14 days. They got
They
14 days.
technically have 14.
They have, theoretically, they have 14 days to come get you. If they don't come get you, they will file a dismissal and you're gonna be and you're gone. This warrant will always be there until you go take care of it in Louisiana though. So you can't just sit here out of sight, out of mind. So, but as a practical matter, you'll be out of here, but at the latest, you'll be Monday in Louisiana. Thanks. Ian.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you, absolutely.
Frederick, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Got a
Do you have a PS?
Okay, Ms. Walls, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days credit for 3. Why? Why are you pleading guilty to this theft? So it can just go on your record. How old are you? You're 24. Do you want to become unemployable?
No, sir, but I'm ready to go back to work and I can't work with it being open.
Her job said they can't hire her back on with the pending case. Once the case is closed, no matter how it is closed, she can go back to work. And she has a prior out of state. So this isn't just a first offense, Judge, but I explained it.
So you know what happens next time, right?
Yeah, I got court for my other one, October 6th.
Other what?
The theft charge that I have.
You have another theft open now?
Case from Montgomery County Judge.
I've been arrested for it several times, but they never came and got me. So my bond company never gave me a court date the last time. They couldn't even find a court date.
How many open thefts do you have? This one and that one? Where's the other one from? Yeah, Walmart, Target, where's it from? Which mall? Where's this one from?
It's a convenience store,
Yeah, 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
This now makes 2. The next one is a felony offense. Instead of days, you're looking at years. I hope you appreciate and understand that.
Yes, sir, you told me the last time.
You don't want a probation to try to keep it off your record?
I wouldn't mind, but would I be able to, it would be open still?
No. It'd be closed, but you're on probation, but you do a 6-month deferred if you do an anti-theft class, and if you don't test positive, you get out of here, you don't have a conviction on your record. And then, at the minimum, I'm telling you, when you get a theft on your record, you become unemployable. No one hires thieves. No one. You have a job now, but I'm telling you, in 6 months, you're probably not. History is that every single person goes through at least 8 to 10 jobs in their lifetime. What are you doing now? Where do you work now?
I work in manufacturing warehouse.
Okay. Right. How much money do you make an hour? That's a great job. And I'm going to tell you that if you stick with this job, fantastic. But the chances are that you're at some point going to move to another job. I'm sorry. Oh, so quit. You might as well quit school if you're going to end up with a theft on your record. Because you go into school makes no difference when you have a theft on your record. No one hires thieves. Why waste your money in school? Quit. I'm telling you. If you really want to amount to something in this life, having a theft conviction on your record is about the worst possible thing you can do. You want to get FAFSA funding for future schooling to become nurse, doctor, whatever. You're not going to get it with a theft conviction. No, they're going to deny you funding just because of a conviction.
I'll discuss with my client, Judge.
If I were you, I would do a deferred, successfully completed, and that point, it doesn't end up on your record. And you need to also understand in Montgomery County, they're a lot tougher than they are here. So you need to work as hard as you can to try to not end up with a theft on your record.
Would I be able to get the verdict today?
We're gonna
Yeah.
have that.
I'm cool with it, and that's what I would do. Don't. You're ruining your life. Stop freaking stealing. If it's not yours, don't take it.
Hey, Judge.
Hey, I know you're in a rush, so as soon as you get done, we'll get you out. And if you want to do it tomorrow or the next day, we can do that too.
I think she got work covered today, wanted to come today. and do it, but
Okay,
we'll make it happen,
then-
Judge. I just gotta knock out this here.
And look, you can always zoom in as well, so you can make your, isn't it at 8:45? It's at 9 o'clock? Oh, you gotta go now? Go, and we can do it via Zoom, and then she's here already.
Okay, I'm
Right.
gonna step in the hall.
Okay, trying to get in the waiting room, and I'm kind of weary about letting.
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Walls, this is the best thing for you. We want to look out for you. We want the best thing for you. And if you really are in school, if you really want to better yourself, this is the way to do it. Because I promise you, people don't last but a year, 2 years, 3 years at jobs nowadays. They just don't. And with the theft conviction, you're all but killing any prospects you have to get a job. You want to get an apartment, not with a theft conviction. You understand? Now, I will cut you loose as soon as you get this done. All we want you to do is understand that this is not a good way to go. All you do is hurt yourself. I mean, even if they get the stuff back, regardless, all you're doing is you're hurting yourself and you're killing yourself. Don't do it. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to test on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, right to be arraigned, charge right to open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. You know, instead of the community service, I'd rather her do like a effective decision-making class instead, like even an online one. You know, if community services, I mean, I'd rather you learn something from this. So if you would prefer, we can have you do an effective decision-making class in lieu, which is a lot better anyways. Now, all you have to do is the anti-theft class, the other class, and if you do that, stay out of trouble, I'll take you off in half the time. It could literally be done in 3 months. And then at some point in the future, if you behave yourself, you can even seal this thing so the general public can't see it. That's the ultimate goal. All right? How do you plead to the offense of theft, man? Guilty or not guilty? I will not find you guilty. I will withhold that waiver fees, please, all of it. You're not going to have to pay for anything as far as supervision, anything. I can't pay for the outside classes. You'll have to do that. But with everything else here, you're not going to have to pay. Just do a good job. Don't pick up any new cases. Good luck. Thanks, Will.
Thanks so much, Judge.
Of course. Hey.
Morning, Judge. May I approve?
Yes, sir.